Here are some important one-word substitutes along with their meanings that can be helpful for competitive exams. 1. Philanthropist, a person who seeks to promote the welfare of others, often through charitable acts or donations. 2. Misogynist, someone who holds a strong dislike or prejudice against women. 3. Polyglot, a person who speaks or is proficient in several different languages. 4. Pessimist, a person who tends to see the negative aspects of situations and expects the worst outcome. 5. Introvert, a person who is more focused on their inner thoughts and feelings and tends to be reserved or shy in social situations. 6. Ambidextrous, the ability to use both the left and right hands equally well. 7. Altruist, a person who selflessly cares for the well-being and happiness of others. 8. Narcissist, a person who has an excessive love or admiration for oneself and often lacks empathy for others. 9. Optimist, a person who tends to have a positive outlook on life and expects favorable outcomes. 10. Hypocrite, someone who pretends to have virtues, beliefs, or qualities that they do not actually possess, especially to deceive or impress others. 11. Aberration, a departure from the usual course. 12. Altruism, selfless concern for the welfare of others. 13. Ambiguous, open to more than one interpretation. 14. Benevolent, showing kindness and goodwill. 15. Catalyst, a substance that speeds up a chemical reaction. 16. Conundrum, a confusing and difficult problem or question. 17. Dearth, a scarcity or lack of something. 18. Ebullient, overflowing with enthusiasm or excitement. 19. Facetious, treating serious issues with inappropriate humor. 20. Gullible, easily deceived or fooled. 21. Hapless, unfortunate or unlucky. 22. Impetus, acting quickly without thought or care. 23. Juxtaposition, the act of placing things side by side for comparison. 24. Kindle, to ignite or arouse a feeling or emotion. 25. Lethargy, a state of sluggishness or laziness. 26. Malleable, easily influenced or shaped. 27. Nefarious, wicked, villainous, or heinously evil. 28. Obfuscate, to make something unclear or confusing. 29. Paradigm, a typical example or model. 30. Quixotic, extremely idealistic and unrealistic. 31. Resilient, able to recover quickly from adversity. 32. Surreptitious, done secretly or stealthily. 33. Transient, lasting for a short time, temporary. 34. Ubiquitous, present or found everywhere. 35. Vexation, the state of being annoyed, frustrated, or worried. 36. Wane, to gradually decrease in intensity or power. 37. Xenophobia, dislike or prejudice against people from other countries. 38. Yearn, to have an intense longing or desire for something. 39. Zealot, a person who is fanatical and uncompromising in pursuit of their beliefs. 40. Abate, to become less intense or widespread. 41. Bolster, to support or strengthen. 42. Cacophony, a harsh, discordant mixture of sounds. 43. Delineate, to describe or portray something precisely. 44. Ephemeral, lasting for a very short time. 45. Fervent, passionate, intense, or enthusiastic. 46. Gregarious, sociable and fond of company. 47. Hackneyed, overused to the point of becoming cliché. 48. Ineffable, too great or beautiful to be expressed in words. 49. Jettison, to discard or get rid of something. 50. Kudos, praise and recognition for an achievement. 51. Languid, lacking energy or enthusiasm. 52. Mellifluous, pleasantly smooth and musical to hear. 53. Nascent, just beginning to develop or exist. 54. Obstinate, stubbornly refusing to change one's opinion. 55. Prudent, showing wisdom and good judgment. 56. Quotidian, of or occurring daily, ordinary. 57. Reticent, inclined to keep one's thoughts and feelings private. 58. Serendipity, the occurrence of fortunate events by chance. 59. Trepidation, a feeling of fear or anxiety about something that may happen. 60. Vicarious, experienced through the feelings or actions of another person. Here are 50 more pairs of words that are commonly confused or have similar meanings. Adverse versus averse. Adverse, harmful or unfavorable. Averse, having a strong dislike or reluctance. Isle versus isle. Isle, a passage between rows of seats or shelves. Isle, a small island. Altar versus altar. Altar, a platform used for religious ceremonies. Alter, to change or modify. Bare versus bare. Bare, uncovered or naked. Bear, to carry or endure. Border versus border. Border, a person who lodges or lives with others. Border, the boundary or edge of something. Breath versus breathe. Breath, the air taken in or expelled during respiration. Breathe, the act of inhaling and exhaling. Censor versus censure. Censor, to examine and suppress or delete objectionable content. Censure, strong criticism or condemnation. Coarse versus coarse. Coarse, rough or of inferior quality. Course, a path or direction, or a series of lessons. Complement versus supplement. Complement, something that completes or enhances. Supplement, something added to complete or enhance. Counsel versus counsel. Counsel, advice or guidance. Council, a group of people who make decisions. Desert versus desert. Desert, a dry, arid region. Dessert, a sweet course typically served at the end of a meal. Eminent versus eminent. Eminent, prominent or distinguished. Imminent, about to happen, impending. Fair versus fair. Fair, just or equitable, an event or marketplace. Fare, the cost of transportation or food. Flair versus flair. Flair, a talent or aptitude, a stylish or distinctive quality. Flare, a sudden burst of light or flames. Flee versus flee. Flee, to run away or escape. Flea, a small, blood-sucking insect. Hoard versus hoard. Hoard, to accumulate or store a large quantity. Horde, a large group or crowd. Insight versus insight. Insight, to provoke or stimulate. Insight, a deep understanding or perception. Lead versus lead. Lead, to guide or be in charge of, a type of metal. Lead, the past tense of lead. Moral versus morale. Moral, concerned with principles of right and wrong. Morale, the confidence or enthusiasm of a group. Palette versus palette versus palette. Palette, a portable platform for moving goods. Palette, a board for mixing colors, a range of colors. Palate, the roof of the mouth, one's sense of taste. Patience versus patience. Patience, the ability to endure waiting or difficulties. Patients, people receiving medical care. Peak versus spike. Peak, the highest point, to reach a maximum. Peak, to glance or look quickly. Pike, a feeling of irritation or resentment. Personal versus personal. Personal, relating to oneself, private. Personnel, employees or staff members. Proceed versus proceed. Proceed, to come before in order or time. Proceed, to continue or move forward. Principle versus principle. Principle, a fundamental truth or belief. Principal, the head of a school, a sum of money. Rain versus rain versus rain. Rain, precipitation in the form of water droplets. Reign, to rule or govern, a period of rule. Rein, a strap used to control a horse, to restrain or control. Stationary versus stationary. Stationary, not moving or fixed in one place. Stationary, writing materials and office supplies. Than versus then. Than, used for comparisons. Then, refers to a specific time or sequence of events. Wave versus wave. Wave, to relinquish or forego a right or claim. Accept versus accept. Accept, to receive willingly. Accept, excluding or excluding from a group. Affect versus effect. Affect, to influence or have an impact on something. Effect, the result or outcome of an action. Complement versus complement. Complement, something that completes or enhances another thing. Compliment, a polite expression of praise or admiration. Principle versus principle. Principle, the person in charge, a sum of money. Principle, a fundamental truth, belief, or rule. There versus. There versus. There. There, belonging to a group. There, a place or location. There, a contraction for they are. Your versus. Your. Your, belonging to you. Your, a contraction for you are. Its versus. Its. Its, belonging to it. It's, a contraction for it is or it has. Than versus. Then. Than, used for comparisons. Then, refers to a specific time or sequence of events. Weather versus. Weather. Weather, the condition of the atmosphere. Weather, used to introduce a choice or possibility. Allude versus elude. Allude, to indirectly refer to something. Elude, to escape or avoid. Canvas versus canvas. Canvas, a type of fabric or material. Canvas, to solicit votes, opinions, or support. Illicit versus illicit. Illicit, to draw out or evoke a response or reaction. Illicit, forbidden by law, rules, or custom. Moral versus morale. Moral, concerned with principles of right and wrong. Morale, the confidence or enthusiasm of a group. Past versus past. Past, the past tense of pass. Past, referring to a previous time or beyond. Breathe versus breath. Breathe, the verb form related to respiration. Breath, the noun form referring to the air taken in and expelled during respiration. Capitol versus capital. Capitol, the building where a legislative body meets. Capital, a city serving as a seat of government or wealth resources. Father versus further. Farther, referring to physical distance. Further, referring to additional extent or advancement. Lose versus lose. Lose, to be unable to find or retain something. Loose, not firmly attached or fastened, not tight.